Hello, Capricorn, and Happy New Year 2017. We're going to be looking at what you can come to expect throughout the full year. Now, I would have loved to have done this on camera, but I am changing out my camera equipment. Not too happy with that old one anymore, so just bear with me as we're doing it as a podcast. I had promised you to have it done by Thanksgiving, so here we go. But listen, guys, get your pen and notepad out. Why? Because we got tons of things to go through, lots of dates. We'll be looking for when you can expect those accomplishments of 2017. Typically, what I like to do, Capricorn, is follow the passage of Mars, because Mars is our physical energy, it's our drive, it's our motivation, it's our dedication. It gets things done, and it is also what brings us to our accomplishments. So we're going to follow Mars month by month. We're also going to be going through the retrogrades of 2017. Really good to know when they're going to go retrograde, where they're showing up in your chart, what you can expect from it. So let's start now here on top of the year. Mars is conjunct Neptune on New Year's Eve. Wow, what an infusion of energy here that Mars is going to bring as a signature straight throughout the whole year, even when it's long past by that Neptune. But the signature, that imprint, will follow it. And what is a Mars-Neptune aspect? Well, you know, Mars is your goals, your drive, your ambition. Neptune is how you dream about those ambitions, those hopes, those wishes, right? Romantically, artistically, spiritually, that is what Neptune is. So we normally do place intentions every New Year's Eve. That is just a very old tradition. However, though, this New Year's Eve is going to be quite different due to this conjunction. Now, that is showing up in your third house for communication, and Mars will start its 8.5 house journey from this very location, meaning that Mars, as you start off the year, you're looking at either short distance travel coming up here in January. Communication might be very important if you're having meetings, interviews, reviews, or giving presentations. That will definitely here. Mars will be supporting you in those areas. Plus, however it is you're interacting with siblings, one or more of your siblings could be needing you, or you might be needing them for whatever reason. But Mars will indicate that you get to have more time one-on-one with them. Now, Mars from January 29th will move into your fourth house of family and remain there to March 11th. So when Mars is in this area, it typically gets all those small little projects that's been piling up over the last 2 years, because it takes 2 years for Mars to go around the chart and come back to any certain area. And so you'll come to see that you will have tons of energy to get these little practical things done. It could be larger situations as well, even to the point of perhaps even moving. If you've been thinking about moving, well, Mars will support you with all the required, needed energy, packing, unpacking, and that sort of thing. Mars will also give you more energy to interact with your family, parents. For those of you still having your parents around, this will be a time where maybe they're going to be needing some of your help. So at least good luck for those of you who are thinking of buying, selling, whatnot. This is a great time to do so. Now, March 11th to April 22nd, when Mars moves into the sign of Taurus. Listen, Capricorn, this is your sister sign. It's in the sign of Capricorn. The fifth house is the house of joy, right? Where you can spend extra time, do what you desire to do, leisure, hobbies, anything of creativity. If you have a business that you run by yourself, this is also a great time for it. Mars will help and support launching of any type new business. While it's here, you know, it is in the best place for these matters in the next 2 coming years. So we definitely want to squeeze the juice out of Mars and make it work for us. It's also the area of children, so more focus on them and spending time with them, catching up, doing things together, spending real nice quality time is great. Then we have from April 22nd and straight through June 5th. This will allow Mars now to pass through Gemini, which for you is an area of health-related matters. Getting on top of it, starting to work out, or making promises to yourself that you'll go and do that walk, right? Or change up your diet. But it's also the area of work, not necessarily your career per se. It's more how you're working within your career, interacting with your coworkers. It's also the workload that you are carrying. This is going to be a very busy time where Mars is trying to process, and since it's in the sign of Gemini, you might feel that there's double work, more than usual, to need to deal with. But listen, you'll have the energy, that extra energy, to see you through. June 5th to July 21st, this is the time of 2017, Capricorn, that you can fully focus, dedicate to your partner. This is the area of love and relationships, marriage. You might find that your partner might be acting more Marsy. It could be you that will be more Marsy. Either way, the energy, the physical drive too, is really burning here in a very nurturing way because Mars is in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer gives. Cancer serves. Cancer wants to be also receive, so make sure that you're not just giving, but that you allow your partner to give to you, right? Beautiful time for you guys to catch up and maybe work through whatever, if there is something that needs to be worked through. This would be the time to do it because Mars will act as a glue and keeping you on the same page to whatever issue is dealt with and done. July 21st, excuse me, to September 9th, Mars moves into the sign of Leo. This is the house of intimacy. It's a Scorpio house. And so we're feeling that we're going deeper, relating more genuinely with our partner, really taking a lot of that depth of Mars, which is the ancient ruler of this house, the Scorpio house. So we can see there's passion here, things that we feel really strongly about, that we want to share. It's also the area of shared resources. So you're definitely going to be looking at how these resources are being shared. Is it fair? Is it too much, too little, right? It also has to do with other people's money or money coming outside of your own month-to-month income. That could be any kind of payouts. If you're waiting for an inheritance, it could be insurance payouts, royalties, commissions, that kind of thing here. So great time where Mars is going to help you make sure that you get paid what it is you're needing to get paid from these outer sources. If there's been any delays, well, you'll be on top of it and take care of it. It's a great time, too, to actually study new investments or look back over your accounts to see where you can save and put aside. Mars will set this good and straight for you so you don't really have to pay attention or follow it over the next 2 years while Mars is going to be busy in other areas of your chart. So from September 9th to October 23rd, Mars will be moving into your 9th house of higher consciousness, reaching for who you are on the inside, who you are in those upper chakras spiritually up towards the cosmos. You might be studying, deepening into any kind of esoteric literature that can give you a stronger sense of this. And I do feel that you have been spiritualizing a whole lot here over time, Capricorn. And again, Mars will help you do whatever research is needed, especially in preparatory steps that may have to do with your career, because that's the next area Mars is going to be focusing on. And we know that you are a career-oriented type individual, so Mars might be laying down the foundation for hopefully a promotion or whatever you might now be hoping to step up. Before I leave the 9th house, Mars, anything that has to do with visas, green cards, travel, immigration, long distance journeys like to foreign countries, people and places. Well, hey, listen, Mars is all for that. You can come to see. This would be a wonderful time for you to have vacation, even though it's getting a little late. There it is from September into there the end of October. But hey, sometimes Indian summer is the best summer vacations we can have, right? But then from October 23rd straight through December 10th. This is the best of a 2-year cycle that Mars can help you attain those goals when it comes to your career. It will be there, and I feel that it will be balancing not only the things that you have already gained thus far, but perhaps also putting you on that list for promotion, right? And this is a great time for you to have any reviews here with your supervisor or your employer, just because Mars now makes you more prompt to be open, direct, and actually reaching and going for it. So I wish you luck with that. Mars will go into the last house of its journey here for 2017 and will end up there in the sign of Scorpio in the area that has to do with social activities. This is a time where you're going to be catching up with your friends, spending more time with them, basically because you were very, very busy there with work, right, while it was touring your 10th house. And you can come to attract people like a magnet here with your Marsy energy, new people too that also will be indicative of the same sort of energy. So this is great. We're going to be looking too here what we can expect now from the retrogrades. We will see that all the planets are retrograding on us this year with the exception of Mars. Mars is just direct, meaning we are on a superhighway as far as accomplishments, moving right along straight through 2017. Nothing really holding us back as far as our physical energy. That is, of course, we have the other planets that might just slow down certain factors for a short time, but as long as Mars is up and running, we're good to go. Let's start off with Mercury. Mercury actually is already retrograde as we hit New Year. It retrograded December 19th there in 2016 and will remain retrograde to January 8th. The next retrograde will be April 10th through May 4th, taking place 4 degrees in the sign of Taurus. That's your 5th house, Capricorn. So you will have an extended time here in this area. Actually, it's not a bad place to have a retrograde. That just gives you more fun time to play, right? But there could still be situations that need to be dealt with and worked either with your children, it could be in a love relationship, or anything artistic or any projects that you might have. But then again, sometimes these retrogrades are blessings. It gives us time to actually go in and pay more attention to detail, to add things to what we had already done. So actually we come out of it stronger, more grounded. The next Mercury retrograde will be August 13th through September 5th. This will take place in your sister sign of Virgo in your 9th house. Also, not too bad a place to have your retrograde unless you're waiting for your publisher to publish your book or to have a lawsuit completed, right? That can slow those things down. But the upside of it is that you get more time to do what you need to do in terms of studying, if you're taking a course, if you are going back to finish your degree, if you're wanting to travel, you might have a great travel now because why? You have more time to really pay attention to the details that you can have on this trip. And sometimes, Mercury retrogrades do bring us back or bring back people in our life that we haven't seen for a very long time. The last of the Mercury retrogrades takes place December 3rd to December 23rd, taking place here in your 12th house. Don't think you're going to feel that all too much, but you might just feel that you're really wanting to wind down, which is typical of the 12th house, where we need to kind of pull in and listen to our higher self, our spiritual self, and so forth. Catch up with our batteries. Venus will retrograde March 4th through April 15th, so listen everyone, it's not the best time to go get any kind of surgery done, especially not anything as far as like lip fillers, plastic surgery, not a good go. It can just go very haywire. Now, this even covers tattoos, piercings, that kind of thing, haircuts, or even changing out your wardrobe. Venus rules beauty, right? And so we don't want to mess with that. So wait till after April 15th and you'll be good to go. But Venus also rules love and it rules money. You might have a little retrograde situation here that will allow you to work things out with your loved one or work things out with your bank account and your spending. That brings us to Mars. As I mentioned, no retrogrades for Mars, so we're going to skip straight to Jupiter. Jupiter, which is always so generous with us and one of the best supporters in the entire solar system, will retrograde from February 6th through June 10th. This will take place 23 degrees in Libra, and it will retrograde back to 13 degrees. So if you have any planets there, that's where you'll find Jupiter. This is taking place in your 10th house for career, Capricorn, so you might just see that maybe you will be contacted from an earlier opportunity that you passed up. We can see how things come back to us from the past. And if it didn't look too good for you back then, maybe, hey, your outlook might have changed. Suddenly it might just look that much more interesting here at this point. So you have a chance to kind of revisit and revise your own feelings about it. Saturn, planet of karma, the taskmaster, it will slow us down April 6th through August 26th. For you, it is your 12th house, so it's kind of like hidden in the background, but it is your ruler, Capricorn, right? So when your ruler goes retrograde, it's asking you to look at karmic situations, which is a typical thing of the 12th house anyway. It's a time to contemplate your life, where you've been, where you're heading, make up, your mind of your future. You're getting an extended time because once we get to the end of this year, Saturn is leaving this area and you're going to start a new 29-year cycle, 28 and a half to 29 years. And so, when you feel maybe a little overwhelmed or a little tired, it's just because Saturn is not just looking back to the energy that you've exerted through 2016, this past year. Saturn is karmically letting you feel the weight of what you've been carrying for the last 28 years. So, of course, this is a time where we just really do need to take good care of ourselves and rest up. Uranus is retrograding August 3rd, straight throughout the rest of the year. It will retrograde 13 degrees in Aries, which for you has to do with your home and your family life, and I think it can give you a break. I feel there's been a lot of you now here, Capricorn, that has had changes going on within the home and family life. Some of you have been moving and then moving again, right? Because there's not really a whole lot of stability when Uranus is there, but it definitely doesn't make home life boring, to put it that way. So listen, we got Neptune June 16th through November 23rd. It will retrograde there at 14 degrees. If you've got any planets there at 14 degrees Pisces, and it will retrograde back to 11 degrees. This is in your third house for communication. When Neptune goes retrograde, well, we might just find out that communication becomes sometimes a little bit more muddled or not as clear as it is when it goes direct, but it's a very subtle energy, so it's not like it's right there in our face, right? So, but then at least you know about it. The last one we're going to be speaking of is Pluto. Pluto, which has been transforming the new you. It's in your first house for personality. You've gained a lot of strength, a lot of power over these last few years, and you might have heard a lot of comments about it too from your friends and coworkers. It's like, wow, girl, or wow, man, right? That you're coming out stronger. You're not really filtering as much as you at some point in your life did. This inner sense of growth, this power is really starting to encompass who you are, and that is all good. We still have a few degrees left here, 10 degrees or more before Pluto will move into your financial sector. So, yeah, this retrograde will start April 4th, and it will remain so to September 29th. So we have several months where Pluto will just lay low, right? Not too much going on there. At least externally, what it is good for is giving you time, these months, to integrate the power of what Pluto has been growing, has been strengthening within you. And it's like with anything new input that we have, it does need time to integrate with the old. So this brings us to the end of the year, Capricorn. I do want to finish up by also mentioning that your ruler, Saturn, will be moving out of Sagittarius, out of your 12th house, into your sign there December 21st. And it will remain here with you for the next 2 to 2.5 years. This is going to give you extra challenges, but it is your ruler, so you know how to roll with Saturn. And so for you, it can really be empowering. It's definitely going to give you more structure. It's like really growing up when we have Saturn upon us. It doesn't matter what age we are, but we grow up when we have Saturn to our sign. So yes, there is going to be a couple of smaller eclipses. We'll talk more about that next year or here in 2017 when we get closer to it. But I do want to mention one, and that is the total solar eclipse of 2017, August 21st. And there's already a little buzz about it because why? It's going to be visible from the United States. And some people, they're so enthusiastic about these total solar eclipses that they travel clear across to the other side of the world just to get a glimpse of it. And here we have it on our own home run. So listen, I wish you the very best for 2017. May you have many, many blessings and a happy new year. And may it just be prosperous for you, Capricorn. And I'll see you soon here in the January forecast and back on camera then.